It's probably best to illustrate the difference. When you have a primary residence, in other words, the house you live in, and you go to sell it, say you bought it 5 years ago for $100,000 and you're selling it today for $175,000, giving you a $75,000 profit. Now, profit doesn't always equal gain. That's something your tax advisor should determine, but it's usually a good indicator of gain. So for our scenario, we'll say you have $75,000 worth of gain. Because it's your primary residence, you do not have to pay tax on that $75,000 in capital gain. Therefore, you do not need a 1031 exchange. The reason you don't have to pay tax on your primary residence is because in most cases, your primary residence receives an exemption, which allows you to exclude gain from capital gains tax. The IRS will give you that exclusion for any gain you make on your primary residence, up to $250,000 if you're single, and up to $500,000 in profit if you're married and filed jointly. Now let's take that same scenario with the piece of investment property you own. It could be residential or commercial, doesn't matter. It could be a strip mall, a hotel, a multi-use project, a multi-family building, or your own condo or lake house that you just hold for investment or perhaps rent out. Let's say you bought that piece of property 5 years ago for $100,000 and you're selling it today for $175,000. Now, determining taxable gain is complicated and it's best to talk to your tax professional, but generally speaking, that $75,000 is going to be taxed at $1 because it is an investment property. It is no longer a primary residence, so you do not get the primary residence exclusion. You're going to have to pay capital gains tax on that $75,000 gain unless you do a 1031 exchange. If you do a 1031 exchange, it will allow you to defer that capital gains tax.